Hello everyone, and welcome back to my craft lair. This is Theresa, and I am back for another Theresa Tries It. Also doing another Monica Seco's photo album, scrapbook album kind of thing. Let me see if I can get this light a little bit better. I have toyed around with some different settings and positionings, and my little light, this little light of mine, has decided that it is no longer functioning on the brightest setting. So we shall make do. So I decided to go ahead and turn the camera on at this point because I'm having problems with the spine binding. It's an accordion thing that holds the pages. That'll make sense later. But for now, the problem that I'm having is, and I don't know if you can appreciate it on camera, but as I was scoring this, the paper really was resistant to my scoring tool, to the point where it was sending me off track completely. And some places it would, I don't know, it was just sort of, and I cleaned my scoreboard off in case there was some debris I couldn't see that it was trying to get around. But anyway, I had a hard time doing that. And this is not, this sort of page holder is what I'm going to call it, because it's not, I don't know what else to call it. It's not a typical, spine. It's just, it's an accordion where you, the pages will be like tubes, and they'll sit onto a 1/2 inch protrusion of the accordion. But she also has a 1/4 of an inch on each side where those pages are not fastened down to the actual spine. So it's quite a lot of confusing scoring and confusing folding, made even more difficult by the fact that the paper would not allow me to score it straight. So I'm just going back with my good old-fashioned ruler and flattener thingy, a spatula, as my son would call it. Yes, at nearly 30, he is still hooked on SpongeBob. But yeah, so there's a lot of, oh, so sorry, a lot of scoring going wrong is what it actually is. So yeah, so obviously I survived my surgery. I'm still technically supposed to be recovering until the 31st of December, until I am formally released to resume normal activities. I'm not supposed to be bending or lifting still, but, tell that to my grandson. He is very upset when I don't pick him up. So I do, because, that's the way I roll. Does not follow directions is my motto. Anyway, so I just thought I'd jump on here real quick before I get too further along the line to just demonstrate that this is, or, ask, I guess, if anyone has experienced this problem with their cardstock in particular, I guess, with trying to score it, and it's like really giving me hard times. I mean, I thought for sure that, my will and my scoreboard and stylus thing were stronger than a piece of paper, but obviously not. Anyway, let me know if you have any similar kind of experience, excuse me, with your cardstock and scoreboard. You know, I'm aware that there is a grain to the paper, but I would not think the grain would change sort of mid-line, if that makes any sense. I mean, I thought the grain either went this way or this way, and not this way and that way in the middle of each sheet of paper. So just let me know. So I'm going to continue on with this, and then I'll come back once I have it molded properly to my will and attached to my cover, which I have not assembled yet. Here it is. Here's my lovely cover. Beautiful chipboard. Medium weight chipboard is what I use. I don't know the specifications of it right offhand, but I do know that this cardstock is 230 GSM, which is grams per square meter, and I have learned that that is the actual best way to make sure that you are getting the kind of paper that you like on a consistent basis, because even with pound, like 30-pound paper or 28-pound paper, it can be different whether it's bond or other labels. So the most consistent way, I have learned through doing research that I really never thought I would have to do or have an interest in doing. But anyway, that's how papers go. So GSM or G/M with the 2 at the top of the M squared, that's the best way to make sure you get consistent paper from one time you order it to the next. If you're searching for, like I found the paper, the regular printer paper that I like to use, the brand that I first found is quite expensive for 250 pieces of paper. So I found a cheaper version that's the same GSM, so is therefore very close to what I found. I mean, the color for my printer is about the same, the quality and all of that kind of stuff. I just, you know, I like it just as well. And for the price, I like it better. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so let me get to putting my cover together, and I will come back and show you how this thing is folded for the pages to attach to. Right, be right back. Okay, so during my little break, I realized that my fat head was in a couple of the shots for a second. Sorry about that. It's life. And I also forgot to plug in my microphone. So now maybe you can hear a little bit of what's going on. All right, so what I did with this paper page attachment is I went ahead and see, my light's flickering. Like, why? Totally don't like that. Okay. I fold it with, okay, so these are the 1/2 inch that's going to attach the pages, right? And then there's a 1/4 inch on each side, which is the, she called it something else, but I can't. It's totally left my mind right now. And then there's a 1/2 inch that's going to attach to the spine. So in the prototype, I realized that it was difficult to glue into the spine the way she has it, because there's no score on where the actual book page back, the book back and front fold. So when I made excuse me, when I made this one, I added another 1/4 of an inch score here to go across the roughly 1/4 of an inch gap here. So what I wish I could remember the name. I do it all the time to, everybody does it all the time to the pockets. You add a little bit of, so that the pocket will hold more, you add this. Anyway, it sounded like we were playing, Jeopardy or something. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is attach this, the front and back, and these 3 1/2-inch spacers to the actual book cover, and allow them time to dry while I do some of the other prep that I need to do on the pages and the elements that go on the pages. So once again, I will be right back. All right, so you can probably possibly hear my printer going in the background, but I'm printing off some of the background pages that I'm going to be using for this journal. This is obviously not the same journal that I showed y'all in the sort of behind the scenes, how I prepare the prototype. This is actually one I am working on for my daughter-in-law, for her to use for Christmas. She and my son don't have children yet anyway, and so this is for her fur babies. I have more 4-legged grandchildren than I do 2-legged. But anyway, so this is a printable I found on Etsy, Pretty Prints by Nicole, and these are just the cutest little cats and dogs, and I'm in love. I'm obsessed. So yeah, these are so cute. Anyway, yeah. So this is what I'm using for this photo album slash scrapbook. Okay, so here are the pages and page elements. Oh, let me go through this real quick because it's booty pain. So as I said, I added a 1/4 of an inch so that the front and back covers, I order a score line at a 1/4 of an inch closer to the edge of the page than what Monica called for. But then each, this is what the page will attach to. This portion of the accordion right here. And then there's a 1/4 of an inch on each side of this 1/2-inch fin. I'm going to call it a fin. To allow for, I guess, ease of movement. I don't exactly know why it's there, but I have not, closed it up. I haven't glued it down. Anyway, it's just there. And I don't know if you can see that I've left the little gaps there. So, yeah, I'm assuming it's allowing for all of the thickness of the actual pages once they go on there. So I'm going to set that to the side and work on the pages. These are the elements that will go on the pages. There's a waterfall, there's pockets, there's all kinds of fun stuff. But the actual pages are these. They are cut at 6 by 8.5. There's 8 of them, and then you score one end at 1/2 inch, so that when you then fold them along this score line, you get 2 of them and fold them. Hold on. You glue them like this to make like what I will call a tube, and you attach that to the fin. There's 8 of these sheets, so that will make 4 base pages, right? Right. So, and the way that she attaches them to each other is quite useful, helpful. It's a helpful hint on how to do these, because, you know, trying to glue 2 ends of paper together is not always the easiest task. So what she does is she attaches one end and then flops the other end down so that it sort of falls in the line of the other one. That makes sense, right? Clear as mud. Clear as mud. So, allow me to demonstrate. Right. So I will, I don't know if I want to bevel these edges or not. Or the corners, I mean. I know what I mean. So I will, just to be on the safe side. Just a little, so they don't show. I mean, there's not gonna really show, but I don't know. Just humor me. Just humor me, because that's how I feel like I have to do it, so I'm doing it. And I am trying to be quick about it, but the hurrier I go, the worse the result will be, so. Plus my hands are very shaky today for no apparent reason. It's not particularly cold today. In fact, it's warmer today than it has been in a couple of weeks, but which is frustrating because I don't, whenever the weather changes, which it does frequently at this time of year here in Georgia, I tend to get the sniffles, like nothing else, just like a runny nose, and it wants to drip down the back of my throat, and it's just gross. It's just not pleasant. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put a little bit of my favorite PVA concoction on this end. And then glue it here. this is why I do not put the double-sided tape here, because I need to be able to wiggle it. And double-sided tape does not give you any wiggle room. So there we go. That's that end. Pretty well done. Pretty well straight. So now I will get my spreader thingy, smasher downer, and I don't know if that's glue or hanging skin or I don't know. It's annoying. Anyway, glue here. And just sort of coax it into place based on the other end. Yeah. And again, just give it a good tap down. Come on now. And I am not going to close the ends of these just yet. Well, obviously one end's going to go over the spine, fin, and then the other end I'm going to leave open until I put a page element on there. Now, she didn't do it that way, but that's the way I'm going to do it because I am a rebel. Pretty good. I'm not overly concerned with this because I'm not going to be sliding anything in and out of it. It's just going to be, oh sorry, it's just going to be a page. Let's see if this works any better. No. It's just a little faffy. No matter how you do it, it's just a little bit fiddly. Okay. Halfway done. Slide just a little bit. Ooh-wee. And that one is not as straight as I would have liked, because I had to get that glue off of my finger. Doggone it. Tarnation dagnabbit. Yeah, I'm doing that. Only because it's not going to be seen, and I feel like if the base pages are crooked, then the whole thing's going to be off whack. So we're going to try that again. gonna hold it right there for a few seconds. See if I can get a little bit more glue right there. Yeah, got a little bit more. And then some. All right. I'm sorry. Things will be attached to it. It will not be noticeable, she says. Hopefully. Okay, one more. I really can't stand pieces of glue being stuck to my fingers. Like, what the heck? When did I get so picky? One glued up. Let them sit for a few minutes while I see what other ones need to be. The page elements need to be, you know, the corners to clip like that and whatnot. I think I'm going to round some of the corners, like on the waterfall element. I think I'm going to round those corners. And I already have notches cut in the pockets. You know, the thumb notches. Alright, I'm just gonna let y'all chill for a little bit before I start manipulating you. Okay, so let's see. Looking at the prototype to see what I might want to round. I might just round the corners on everything. Yeah, lots of flips and flaps on the pages. Before I do these waterfall elements, I'll have to put something on here. And these are photo mats. And I did round those corners. So I'll have to put this is also used to hold that closed. So put that to the side and start working on the elements. not, again, I'm not worried about that I wrote on these, because I will be covering them with some of that lovely paper. Yeah, I'm trying to get my stuff together. Yeah, definitely going to be a two-parter, because I can't get my act together, kids. What else is new? It's been a while since I've filmed a long format video. I've been doing the decorative collage ones, which I don't have to talk and I don't have to think much. These require some thought. Have these little black corners everywhere, just everywhere. It's all right. My daughter and I were in here the other day tidying, organizing some things away, and to her that means getting rid of stuff too. So we did quite a bit of that, and still can't tell any dead-gum difference, but we made quite a mess, obviously, with paper scraps and little bits and pieces of everything everywhere. So the floor is definitely a mess. But I figured I'd do this before I start sweeping, which I'm probably not supposed to do, but it's whatever. I don't have any sweeping genie's gonna come and do it for me, so I shall do it quite happily. Always looks like a bigger mess after I've got everything, after I've got these things folded, because they're obviously they don't lay flat anymore. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. No, I don't. That's a bold face. A bold face untruth. These have a bit of a spine to them. As well. Okay. sure I'm not hitting the wrong score line with those scissors. This is a very paper hungry project. I used, I believe it was 25 pieces of A4 paper. Yeah. 25 pieces. I did not put the letters directly onto these that are going to be the waterfall pages, and I don't want to do that to them. I think I'm going to round them. Oops, sorry, that was loud. I'm going to round them because I want them to be more uniform when you flip them up than they would be if I were to bevel the edges. That makes sense, I'm sure. Probably should go ahead and round all of them, but I'm just trying to get everything that needs to be beveled, and I'm trying to get the burnishing of the scoring done, which I'm not really burnishing much, am I? I'm just sort of mashing them with my fingers. That's okay. It's the thought that counts. At least until I get them actually in the book. I also need to take a little break and do some figuring on how many just plain background sheets of this kit I need printed to cover the pieces that are attached. You know what I mean, before the decorative elements can come in, the flaps need to be covered. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's one waterfall element. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the other. Come on now. Play nice. Play nicely. Put them back together thusly. Alright, these are the pockets. I've already taken the little notch out for the thumb. Yeah, thumb notch. That's what it's called. And then these will be folded in so I can cover the letters that I wrote. Oh, I also need to do the tops of these flaps like so, just so they don't show. I can do this one along these top ones. Okay, and these are the little pieces that that hold the flaps down on the inner and outer covers, inner, front and back covers. That's what I'm trying to say. insides of the front and back covers. That's one. And two. These have a little bit of a spine to them. Oh, look, she's using her squishy thing. Now, let's go ahead and get the pages attached so you can see what I'm talking about. You go over here, and you come over here. Oh gosh, these things really are everywhere. Okay, so I'm gonna have to turn this sideways, otherwise I won't be able to see what I'm doing. And I'm gonna stop and just try and put the pages all the way as far as they'll go, and that will not be exactly what is supposed to happen. So there, they go on like that. So I will put glue on both sides, inside here. Sure I will. Oop. Oop. Oh, wow. Let me just do this. Let's just do this. Oh, wow. Glory be to St. Peter, man. Okay, so one, I need to get that off of my finger because I'll touch it someplace else and there will be glue transfer. Okay, so that's down to that first score mark. And so is that. Now this is the difficult part, is smooshing it, because you can't smoosh it against the flat surface. So, and the elements A are going to be attached one here and one here. So I'm just going to glue that inside of there to make a little bit neater finish there. So it won't be, at least this flap won't be on the inside of this. I don't know that it'll make that much difference, but I'm telling myself it will make that much difference. So I'm going to do it that way. Let me tell you, working with black paper is just not the easiest thing in the world. guess I should be trying to see if they're straight to each other. A bit late for that now, but they look all right so far. Oh gosh. It's barely inside the cover. I should have done a dry run before I started a glue. Oh, well. It is what it is now. It really upsets me. We'll see how bad it looks when I get these all glued on. Stand it up. See what can be, how far off I am with the cover alignment. This is not going as well as I would like. This one seems to be a booger bear. First page on there makes me upset. Nothing to be done for it now. Yeah, always do a dry fit before you introduce the glue. Do as I say, not as I do. Because I have messed this up. Funny that the pages are so close to the top and the bottom of the covers, but this spiny attachment is well within. Maybe it's not straight though. Hard to tell since the scores may not have been straight because of the whatever fit the paper was having. All right, so I'm gonna let this rest for a bit. I mean, you can't really see them. Yes, you can. I'm going to stop messing with it so it can dry. And then I will see what I can do with the spine. That's upsetting. Right. So here's the prototype. And I need one, Well, I don't need to do them because nothing else gets attached to them right now. So, but before I can put this one on, I need this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 4 background pages. Let's see if these are going to work the way I want them to. Get them off of my printer. If these don't work, I'll have to get some of the full page. I know what I mean. The full pages from the kit. Yes, see, that's going to be too narrow to cover that. Let's see about the waterfall pages. Same. Poo sticks. So now I have to print. Some of the pages. Let's see what else I have printed already. I was hoping to be able to leave the background pages rather bland rather than use these, oh, that's upside down, rather than use these pretty decorative ones. Let me see. Yeah, I'm going to have to go back to my computer and see what the full sheets, pages, background pages that she has look like. I'll be right back. Okay, back once again, and we're going to start putting this bad boy together. There's nothing I can do about the pages right now, so we're just gonna get started with stuffing this thing. Stuffings. Gonna get busy with the stuffings if I can get all the stuffing ingredients over here. So, okay. Don't need those yet. Those. I really should organize this, but that's okay. It won't take long. I need all the A's. Running out of space on my desk. Okay, there's A. Okay. I think I got most of it organized. Yeah, my printer's going again. Okay, so A. I'm going to go ahead and put this piece in the page, in between the page. Right here. In here. In between the page pocket. I'm going to attach this A. Yeah. Make sure that page turns nicely. Get some kitchen towel here. Blot it up. Okay, one. And these A flaps go just on the front of every page, so it'll be 1, 3, 5, and 7. If you want to number them like a book. Putting glue on both sides of the flap. I'll do this again. Sorry, I hit the microphone. Get that extra glue out of there. Nice and straight-ish. I don't know what's straight. The page is straight. The thing is straight. Who knows? We're just gonna roll with it. Because nothing handmade is perfect. That's what lends to its charm. That's what I tell myself anyway. Oh. And speaking of telling myself, big news, I have opened an Etsy shop. And it is Craftygrams US. All one word. Craftygramsus.etsy.com. Yep. I finally went there. Oh my. Yeah. Was quite a messy endeavor there. I mean, these will be covered with decorative paper, but still. I like to make it as neat as I possibly can. And this page just doesn't want to glue on this side. So we shall give it a little injection of glue. A messy injection of glue. like so. Okay, so that's 1, 2, and here we have page 3. Let's do the inside the page 1 first. Glue on both sides of the attachment tab. Gusset, gosh, that's the word I've been looking for. These are 1/4-inch gussets. Yeah. I mean, my brain, it works as and when it wants to. And 7. This is page 7. If we're going by book page numbering. Very nearly a disaster. I think someone should put that on my urn. My whole life story. That was very nearly a disaster. Right. One last little A flap to attach. And we will have our odd numbered pages done. Okay, move that out of the way. I hear my cat breathing, wheezing. I don't see him. My cat has allergies. Yep. So, yeah. He doesn't like the weather going from hot to cold either. He definitely doesn't like cold weather. It's the only time he ever uses a litter box. When it's too cold for him to go outside. Okay. So that was A's all the way, which never on my report card. Okay. So next, where are our B's? B's, B's, B's. B's, B's go on 2 and 4. So 1, 2. BB. All right. Yes, and yes, I lettered them that way. So it's easier to tell. All right, this one goes on the top. On these, I try to get the glue closest to the part of the flap that will be actually on the edge of the page, because that's where it will be tempted to come up if it ever goes down. Okay. That's about as straight as that's gonna get. Page 2, 3, 4, that's going to be a waterfall element, 5 and 6. Is that right? Let us consult the prototype. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Yeah. It's actually the back of the 3rd page. Alright. As these get lumpier, it's going to be harder to get a nice sharp art. It's gonna be harder to tamp down the glue. I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's gonna be harder to get a good tight adhesion because I can't burnish the tab down against a flat surface. So there. How about that? Sounded like I knew what I was talking about for a second. Go ahead and get the flaps put down, and then in part 2 I will do the waterfall elements, because I've just realized that I have not rounded a single corner, even though I said I wanted to round them all. So before I go any further, I'm going to stop and do that off camera, and I'll see you back for part 2 of this edition of Theresa Tries It. Thanks for joining me. Y'all have a great afternoon or evening or, whatever. Thanks for watching. Bye now.